Good morning, Charlotte, the Great. Good morning, good morning. Glad to have you all. This is Morning Motivations with Martine, where all levels of movement are welcome, including zero. So you don't have to be moving with me. Some of you are on your way to work. Some of you are actively getting kids out the door. And then I do have some folks who come in and walk with me. All right. I got a few people who do that too, but don't feel like have to do that. I want to kick off this call by talking about this water bottle. So my folks who've been following me for a while, that you know I've been struggling to get my water in, and that's just what it is. I've been struggling. So I'm going to talk about the Water Boost Smart Boost water bottle. Y'all, this thing is the bomb. So I'm going to be talking about this throughout my talk today, just because I think folks can benefit from it. And if you're trying to get your water intake in like me, then it might be something you want to grab. All right. So I'm going to finish my setup. And that's what we're going to be doing this morning. Good morning, Jenna. Good morning, Kaya. Glad to have all of you here that are popping in. We're going to be talking a little bit at the top of this call about the Water Boost Smart Water Bottle. I've been having a hell of a time trying to get my water in, and I'm going to share with you some of the benefits and how it's been going. This is day 2 of me using. Good morning, Cajun Mama C. This is day 2. Facebook and YouTube. You guys just be along for the ride this morning as I talk about this water bottle. I want to start there. All right, let's see. Here we go. Good morning, Dave. Thank you, Darika. Appreciate you. Oh, dang, I gotta block somebody early in the morning. Girl. Oh, this is a bot. All right, we're gonna just block you, girl. Clock a salad hoe. That's cute. I always feel special when I get a bot. I'm like, you got enough of me to bot me. Oh, baby. Good morning, Kelly. How's it going? Some exciting things going on over there in the DCT chat this morning, the coaches chat. Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, Elle. Kelly, I made it. I got bots on. The bots came to the chat this morning. I know. I'm like, anytime the bots come on, yeah, on TikTok. Yeah, hold on. Let me go back. She said she boring and hungry. She said a face only a mother can love. And I was a linebacker. I always feel loved when they get on here showing out. Good morning, Missouri Momo. Girl, like it's 7:44 here. What are you doing? What are you doing? So, Kelly, let me stop what I'm doing because I ain't taking care of my business. You know, I've been struggling to get my water in, so I actually picked up a new water bottle. So I got to talk about that a little bit. But I'm pretty sure you were here Monday. So I also want to talk about like how we're going to think through servicing our people and really asking them about what their needs are. I want to talk about that too. But before I could even get to that, honey, they on me. I was like, well, hello to you too. Hello. Hello to you too. First thing early in the morning. First thing early in the morning. So y'all know I've been struggling. Good morning, running with scissors. Y'all know I have been struggling with drinking the water. Half the time I don't even come on the call with the water. And so recently I have found out about this Water Boost Smart Water Bottle. And I bought the 32 ounce. And what's cool about it is it has this little charging port. So this whole part up here, that's the techie part. It also comes with a water filter, I believe. All right. And basically I charge this top part, and every time I drink, it counts the number of ounces. It comes with an app, and yesterday I used it. I think I set a goal of 100 ounces. I'm gonna drop it though. That's too much water. I was getting waterlogged. But I know now I can easily drink 60. Okay. I know I could drink 60 ounces. And then the cool thing is it has this like a touch screen. And when I touch it, it shows like a little body and how far I've gotten across my goal. I think that is so nifty. And then it also shows me like my battery. So how well this is charged. So today I've gotten through 20% of my 100-ounce goal. And it pops open, pops closed. Really like it. If you're interested, click in the shop to look at more. But yeah, I thought so. I thought this was cool. I'm going to be popping up and talking about it throughout the call. I'm going to take a couple breaks and talk about it a little bit. But I thought this was a really cool way to track your water. I do meet with a nutritionist. And so anybody who meets with a nutritionist, you already know. They're going to ask you, did you sleep? How's your sleep in? They're going to ask you, good morning, Charlene. They're going to ask you, did you drink the water? And I'll be like, girl, I ain't seen you in 2 weeks. Yes, some days I did. So now I'm going to be able to pull up my app and say, hey, let's look at the data. Let's look at how my water drinking has been going. Even if I go a couple days not using a water bottle, it's okay, because that also tells her, oh, you ain't been tracking these last couple days, so we just gonna count them as zero. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Charlene. It's called the Smart. What is this thing called? Water H Boost Smart Water Bottle with app. And the app was free to use. I like the app. The app is cute. So I'll be talking about that as we get into the summer. It's the summer in the U.S. And I really need to get this water taking a lot more seriously. Good body and soul. Glad to see you. I hadn't seen you in a while. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here. Let me go check on my YouTube friends. Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning. How are you? Stephanie W. Good morning. Glad to have you. Good morning, Talia. Glad to have you this morning. All right. So Monday, we talked all about Canva Creates. And I know everybody's in love with all the tools and the cool things that you can do. But good morning, Linda. I want to take a different angle. I want to talk about it from a different perspective. I want us to think about the decisions they made as a company so that we can learn and apply some of those same practices. All right. So Monday, we talked about how they handled the problems that their audience had. They spent at least a year or two collecting data. They collected data from support calls. They collected video data. So I imagine the marketing team had a full marketing campaign where they were asking people, what do you really want to see? What's missing? They took that data and they used that data to create the best possible product that they can create at this time, at this moment. It was brilliant. All right. Kelly says it's still spring, child. Well, listen, it went down to the 30s or 40s in Mississippi last night, so I think the weather is like you're gonna get what I tell you can have. Yeah, I'm in Texas. I'm in Texas, and our summers run between 101, 99, and 104. And it usually starts to pick up between May all the way through. It can go as long as October, right? So it be hot. And so I already know I get very dehydrated in the summer. And so I picked up this H2 Smart bottle to help me track how many ounces that I'm drinking. So when I meet with my nutritionist, we can talk about it. Come on, Charlene, you love it out here. The water's fine. The water's fine. Good morning, Big D. All right. So I have a question. I told you guys I would ask. What are your thoughts about asking your audience, your target audience, about their needs? I did start working on it. I've got a couple of different audiences. So let me know. Have you asked your audience any questions to kind of start learning more about their needs? And if you haven't, what are your plans? What do you plan to do? Let me know in the chat. All right? Because sometimes I think we make things too difficult. Also, when we get to this business, when we start our business, a lot of times we actually, at least I can speak for myself, we start from a very selfish place. And because we're starting from that selfish place, it's all about what we like and what we want to see. And it takes us time to learn that we need to connect with people who like what we like and then better understand their needs. All right? Point blank and the period. All right, so Kelly says, I asked my GPT Blueprint audience what they need to make my classes around what they want. I like that. I think the area that's difficult is digital art, digital PNGs, clip art. I think that's where it gets tough. Okay? I do. I think it gets tough when we start speaking from that space because people, which my folks who sell that kind of stuff, here's what I want you to think about. You got to really analyze where art needs to be in a person's life. And then you need to ask your audience, where do they want to see art? Okay, it's a waste of your time to take classes on wall art, for example, if you plan to have no wall art on any walls in your own home. If you don't plan to learn people who buy wall art, why, what kind of groups are they in, what do they use it for, right? So you got to ask the right questions. Good morning, Constance, in order to get them what they need. All right. I've been teaching a series, similar to Kelly, I've been teaching a series of Canva frame classes. I'm finishing the last class next Saturday. But the only reason I'm teaching that series is because my audience said, hey, I still haven't gotten Canva frames down. Could you teach that again? And I said, yes. And then I went and did my homework, my research, pulled out my old resources, and took what was present, what's happening in the now, and combined it with the Canva frame skill. Okay? Now, I have a little trick for you guys. I got a little trick. Y'all ready? If you're uncertain of what to ask, the answers lie in keywords. I'm going to say that again. If you're uncertain about what an audience needs, the answers often lie in the keywords they use to search with. Okay? Some of you may know I have started pulling back the curtain and sharing my keyword reports. All right? I have a special knack for being able to find the right keywords that users are using that are often low competition, high value. I got something I can do well. Okay? And what I've learned is if a person is typing in a series of words into Etsy, Amazon, Google, then that gives me a breadcrumb as to what they might need because of the types of things they're searching for. Okay? So don't ignore keywords. Yes, we put keywords in our titles. We put keywords in our descriptions and our tags, and it's a great strategy. But it also can be a great point of information to help us determine or learn more about the needs of a particular audience. Okay? All right? So I have them. I do the work for you. Go to my profile, and you can pick up the keyword report of your choice. I also do research outside of just the words to kind of figure out, like, what's the market like? Who is, why would the consumer make those decisions? What's at the foundation of their decision making? Okay. And because I know that kind of information helps me to be a better seller. It helps me to create my marketing, service my audience more effectively, and get those products on the first page of the search results. All of that's true. Okay? So that's my little secret sauce. If you're unsure of what to ask, start looking at the keywords that the consumer uses to find what they need. That information can be very telling. Good morning, Angela. That information can be quite telling. Do I have anybody in the chat before we move on? Anybody in the chat who, when I say keywords, you don't know what I'm talking about? You're in a business, you're running a business, you're selling physical or digital products. Good morning, Denisha. But you don't know what a keyword is. All right, just want to double check. So we're good on that strategy. Okay, so that's the first thing. Examine keywords. Keywords can actually help you learn about your audience. Okay, so that's part one. Part two, you do need to do some form of surveys. Surveys can be created in multiple ways. My rule is my survey can be no longer than 5 questions long because people don't like to fill them out. You can do like many, if you're going to do a much longer and expanded survey, you need to attach a prize. There's got to be an incentive because they already don't want to fill out a couple of questions. If they get in there and they 12 to 15 questions in, baby, they closing the app. They're closing your survey. They're not going to finish the survey. They're not going to finish the survey. Okay. Okay, so let me tell y'all what just happened. I get notifications on my phone when it's time to drink more water. Okay. Then there's actually a blue light that will light up here that will visually tell me, drink some water, boo. drink some water. So I saw the notification it's live. I also saw the blue light. That was my indicator to take some more sips. All right. So it's doing a bit of behavior management to really get you to be mindful and to drink that water. Now, I hate to break it to y'all, but those who hear every week, I'll be talking about this water bottle every week. Okay? If this ain't what you need, just ignore this part. Just because I think, well, first of all, I need to drink water. Okay? I need to drink water. Okay? And now that I've kind of gotten in a rhythm with it, I'm like, oh my God, this is such a powerful tool to help me reach my goals. And it's not very expensive. Okay? It's not very expensive. Good morning, Be Digital Love. Be Digital Love, we're talking today about giving the people what they need so that we can be more effective in how we serve them. Canva did a wonderful job of being a model for how to do that. Kelly, I'm glad you don't have a problem with water, baby. I go 3 days with no water. I don't drink no water. I ain't thought about no water. And now that I'm taking this medication, I done forgot. Water, I'm like, oh yeah, drinking water is probably something I should do. So I need many reminders. many reminders. Good morning, Michael. All right. Oh yeah. I forget. I don't think about it. A lot of times I'll get deep in my work and I won't think about drinking water till like 7 o'clock p.m. Or when I realize my lips is super chapped and dry looking, child, I'll be like, oh, I need to drink some water. So this is my, getting this water bottle is like my effort to be more cognizant and really trying to, do my body some good. Because of course, with any exercise, diet, life change, any form of medication, the first thing they say is, drink lots of water. So I struggle. I'm not gonna lie, I struggle. Good morning, the love. Oh, okay. So Kelly, I'll have to try Propel. I do have the Mayo or Mio where you squirt it inside the water. But I've committed to only use it once a day as a part of my dinner, and then any leftover goes in the refrigerator for the next day. That way I'm being super serious about getting my water in. Plain, unfiltered, or maybe filtered water. Be Digital Love. So Be Digital Love says, if I told you drink 12 ounces of water a day and I will pay you $5 a cup, will you do it? No. I wouldn't remember. To do it. I'd forget about the $5. Here's how I know. Several times over the course of my adult life, I have participated in like these weight loss competitions. And in the competition, the more weight you lose, the more money you win. You get a bigger piece of the pot. And it didn't matter. I struggled to stay committed, even though I knew I was not only going to get my money back, but a little extra. So for me, money has not been a driver to help me reach my goals. Not in that way. But I think that poses a great point, right? And I'm going to bring this all the way back to the needs of your audience. That's why it's so important to have a deep understanding of what your audience needs. Because we have this perception of what would be a driver, and it may not be the driver for the audience. Because love, you want 4, girl, won the diet bet? Dang. No, I won like $5 because maybe I paid like 55 in. I think I paid like 55 in. Good morning, Carangela. Good morning, Andrea. You lost 40 pounds in 12 weeks. Dang. So not only did you lose, but you were one of the top losers. Yeah, no, sis. Nope. Money's hadn't been enough. It hasn't been enough of a driver, right? But we know what has been a driver. Taking the right medications, that's helped. But also, exercising and moving within community has been a better driver for me than trying to get money. Okay? So it's those little nuances, right? For Be Digital Love, that had seeing that cash pot really helped her hone in and focus to get her towards her goals. She is a perfect target audience for a business that sets up programming where you earn money while you lose weight. Someone like me, I'm a better target audience person for a company that uses community to get people to lose weight. Do y'all see the difference there? It's very, very nuanced. Now, what do these companies do? Well, they create programs that have money and community because they want all the people. They want the target. They want everybody. that they want. So they a lot of these companies have community base, and they do both monetary and non-monetary wins. All right. So how does this apply to your digital download business? How does this apply to your the classes that you teach? Well, you've got to ask the right question. So a question you can ask is what gives you a sense of accomplishment in your business? If I was teaching a class, I would say something like, what do you feel like you need to learn or master to feel a sense of accomplishment? That's how I would string that together. If I was in a digital art business, I would say, what gives you the most satisfaction when you look at your art? Okay. Good morning, Toya. Good morning. Good morning. So those are all things that we need to consider. Okay. Next, I want to give you some tips on how to structure your surveys. To start, you may want to do no more than 3 to 5 questions. Make one of those questions a comments piece. Okay. Also, you might only want to do one question. So for my people that teach classes, you may just say, hey, in the chat, if you learned something today, drop a 1. That's a data point. You look at how many students were in the class, how many students put a 1, take the percentage off of that. Do a little bit of error for a few people that wasn't paying attention no way. And that'll give you a sense of if that class was successful. I do that all the time. It's one of the key things. Those of you taking classes with me, you know, I'll say, tell me, put a 1 in the chat if you've learned something, one thing you've learned today. What did you learn today? So you may start there. That's a way to start better understanding what people's needs are. If they say all of one thing from the class and none of the other, after the class, you might say, tell me how you felt about X, the thing that they didn't say they learned. Do you need more help? Okay. So it's a very easy and simple way to begin the process of asking questions to get what you need. Digital products, folks. Talking to you next. You could literally send out a 1-question form that says, tell me how much you liked about this product. 5 stars, 3 stars, 2, down to 1. If they do 3 or less, ask them what they can do better, what you can do better. Okay? The big thing I took away from, the other big piece that I took away from Canva is that we need to make complex things really simple. All right? We got to make it simple. Okay? So to get started, don't feel like you got to have this formal, proper survey. It could just be a few questions. It could just be just a few questions to help you better understand your audience. Because what Canva did last week is they spoke to the needs of their people. They spoke to needs I didn't even know I had. I didn't even know I had those needs. Toya, how you doing? Princess, how you doing? 3, how you doing? Christy Allen, good morning. Those of you that are popping in, this is Morning Motivations, and I try to offer business AI mindset support for 40 to 45 minutes, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Good morning, Catty girl. Good morning, Phoebe. Today, and most days, I'm going to be giving y'all updates on my progress with the Water Age Boost Smart Water Bottle. I'm a techie, so anytime you can plug it in, I'm here for it. I bought the 32 ounce. You take the top off, you charge it, and it actually has a really cool touch screen. When you touch the screen, it tells you your battery power, how much water you've had so far today, what percentage you've had. It has an easy to lift lid, comes right off. And if you get off track, the app will notify you, and there's like a little blue light up here, and that will light up to signify that it's time to take a swig. So far, I'm 25% into my 100 ounces, but I'm pretty doggone sure that I am not going to be doing 100 ounces. 100 ounces is that's a lot of freaking water. But I'm going to keep going. I said, I'll let today and just see how I do. Thank you, sis. I'm trying. Y'all know I've been lifting weights. Last week, I only could do Tuesday because I tore my body up. I'm feeling much better this week. I did much less. So what did I do yesterday? I didn't do 5-pound weights. I only did 3. And then there were several exercises that I didn't use weights at all. They used the instructor used weights. I did not. I just used my body weight so that I would have the energy I needed to walk today. And then I'm going to really try hard to do it again tomorrow. I'm hoping I'm not having excessive soreness. Tomorrow I'm drinking my water. So I'm really trying to get things moving so that I can continue to be happy and strong. All right, so I'm on my way. I'm always on my way. I'm always on my way. All right, so the last thing I want to cover today, ChatGPT. I saved this for last because most of y'all don't come on to the very end. Woo! Oh no, Toy, I'm not a fan of the lifting. I'm not gonna lie. Thank y'all. I appreciate that encouragement, man. Because listen, I have another doctor's appointment in July, And I've got two goals. I want to be down some more pounds, and I want my A1C to be back in a healthy range. Those are the two goals. So I got to do a little work every day to get there. And those of you that are walking alongside me, thank you for being there. I appreciate you guys. And if you're not walking, just remember it's not a requirement. It's just what I do. But it's definitely not a requirement. Okay? So let's talk about ChatGPT. Kelly mentioned it earlier. I'm going to give you guys a formal prompt. I'll put it in the Morning Motivations community. But I'm going to give you a formal prompt. Okay, so, and I did this because of ChatGPT's new memory update. It remember half your business now, y'all. It can remember a lot of things you've said and done in a way that I've never seen it. But because that's the case, you can actually write a pretty decent prompt and get some solid questions. So the question that I asked was, ChatGPT, I call him Xavier, but based on all the things you've learned about me, give me 5 questions that I can ask my target audience to get a better assessment of what they need. All right, so those were mine. And I did it for each audience that I served. Y'all, your girl is tired. I'm tired. But I served quite a few audiences. And so I have my questions. Of course, it's ChatGPT, so they're not perfect. I'm going to have to refine them. But it gave me some questions that I wouldn't have thought of on my own. If you're in any of my communities, please complete the survey when you get the questions. Okay? Let me stop. All right. So that's what I recommend you do. Ask ChatGPT based on what you know about me. Give me 5 questions that I can ask my audience to get a better sense of their needs. Okay? Because we're asking, remember, we're not asking necessarily for feedback. You can, but this is really centered on asking about what the needs are. So that because then when you're looking at your business goals, when you're doing that future planning that I hope most of you are doing. Good morning, Miss Janice. You have built in guidance from your audience. Okay? The work becomes so much more meaningful when you can answer the call. All right? All right. I'm going to take my pace down. Miss Linda, I could have went a little faster today. I ain't going to lie. But I am sweating. But I probably could have went a little fast. She and I talked a little bit about the speed on the treadmill. So that's why I'm doing a call out to her. But not bad. Not bad. I was able to get through my spiel with y'all. Let's review. Canva did a great job of showcasing to us that we can answer pain points if we just ask. Okay? Keywords can actually tell you a lot about your consumer's needs. All right? Keywords, they can tell you a lot about what your consumers need. I have keywords available to you. You don't have to go do the research. And if you want me to do reports on specific topics or niches, let me know. And I can do that. All right? Because a person's needs is so nuanced, for example, Be Digital Love, that grand prize is a driver for helps her reach her goals. For me, community helps me reach my goals. Those internal drivers are what we need to learn about our consumers, our customers, so that we can then speak to that and not just what we like. All right. In ChatGPT, when you're asking ChatGPT, make sure that you lean on the needs. And because their memory is updated, I also want you to focus on asking it to kind of go through the chat and come up with questions based on everything so that you can discover some things that you hadn't considered before. All right. If you're going to do a formal survey, I'm doing a couple formal surveys. I'm going to have to spread them out. Some of you are in multiple communities with me. No more than 5 questions. Keep it short and simple. If you're just starting out, maybe only do 1 question as a part of your classes. Just do a 0 to 5 scale. Did you learn? Did you not learn? That kind of thing. Keep it simple. Be Digital Love says that's not her driver anymore, which again, so if I was the company that was trying to get Be Digital Love's business and the financial part is no longer her driver, or if I notice we've got many people who've been very successful but are less engaged with my business, then I would say, what's your driver now? You've reached your goal. Woo! What do you believe is going to keep you motivated? That is a question that I would ask. I would do a spreadsheet. I'd pull out my top earners, my top successful people, and I would target them and ask them, now that they've reached their goal, what are going to be their drivers now? All right? So those spreadsheets, those downloads, you do need to look at them. Who responds to your emails? Who doesn't? Who engages in your lives? Who doesn't? Who purchases your products? Who doesn't? How they purchase, when they purchase, and whether or not they like them matters. And at the end of the day, it's going to determine whether you're more like Canva or less like these other companies. And Canva knocked them heads off them shoulders on these other companies. I won't name them. Don't put them in the chat because you might need to work for them one day. But they was knocking heads off shoulders last week. They did a phenomenal job of speaking to the needs of their audience. All right. I see y'all looking at this water bottle. Yep. The water bottle's great. It's not too expensive. I bought the 32 ounce. So I have to refill a couple times a day. It is rechargeable. There's a light that lights up when I haven't had my water. And I get notifications through the app. And I earn like points. So those of you that are driven by like point-based systems, points. You get points for the more water you drink. All right. All right, let's see. This week, today's Wednesday, Patreon. We got a lot of new members in the Patreon. Hey, Patreon subscribers with TRM Learning, welcome. We're glad you're here. We have a co-working session for our Tier 2 and Tier 3 participants. Can't wait to get in there with y'all. Can't wait. Okay? That's tonight. Tomorrow, have y'all bought y'all mid-journey seat with Regina? Get your mid-journey seat. Anybody who's done or have had any experience with Regina, you know that she is 100% committed to making sure you understand Mid-Journey 7 and all of its new nuances. Her class is tomorrow. Make sure you go to Queen Creative Gallery, pick up that class. Slight announcement. This is Easter weekend. I'll tell y'all ahead of time. There will be no Sundays with TRM this Sunday. All right? Y'all enjoy the risen Savior, those of you who are believers. Your Easter egg hunts. I'm a Louisiana girl, so normally it's a crawfish boil. Mm-hmm. Enjoy the crawfish boil, the fish fry for all my Louisiana folks. Y'all know what it is. And there will be no Sundays with TRM this Sunday. Y'all know we be in the place all the time. Good morning, Kathleen. So we're going to take some time with family, and we are pushing you guys to do the same. All right? Thank y'all for the love. Man, y'all showed out today. I got 10,000 hearts. I don't know who been hearting their tail off, but y'all been hearting y'all tail off today. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate the support. I don't take it lightly that you guys show up and that you're here with me every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Friday, yes, we're going to be back. As long as I'm healthy and feeling good, we'll be back. We're going to celebrate wins. And I want you guys to come and tell me some of the questions you're considering. One of the reasons I moved from a 5-day-a-week to a 3-day-a-week framework is because I'm really serious about you guys making these changes. All right? I want you to really start thinking about these things. I am trying to embed in more targeted support so that you're walking away from these calls and these lives with time to do the things we talked about, time to send me messages. I do get messages here and there. All right? And really start putting in the work you need to put in to make a difference in your own life and the life of your business. All right? All right, so Facebook and YouTube, my lighting is kind of, it's so much better. I will see you guys Friday, Facebook.